All right, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. It is July 29th, and this is our Emerald to Diamond group. So I like to run these a little bit different because right now you're all kind of stepping into that leadership role. Some of you are already diamond, some of you are like super duper close. So with you guys all building your team, you really need to, I'm gonna push you. We're gonna push you a little bit, and you guys are gonna be the ones that are talking on this call. Me and Danielle will go first, and then you guys will just go after us. And it's just to kind of get you comfortable with talking about your story, just because that's going to be something that you want to have in an instant. When people ask you, what do you do as a coach? Or why did you start this? Or when people ask you a question, you're going to want to know that story and then your why. Obviously, you want to have that strong why, and repeating it out loud to people really makes it that much more real. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And then if we have any more questions, any questions at the end, we can definitely answer them. So I'm going to go first and tell you all about my why. When I first started, I was living about 2.5 hours away from my husband, then boyfriend at the time. So we were just, traveling on the weekends back and forth. And I was completely sick of that. After doing that for 3 years, clock is ticking, like I'm getting old. I wanted to, start a family and, just start marriage and move in together. And that was my big reason when I first became a coach. And it happened not because of the money, because of Beachbody, but I met Jessica Bryson, who's the coach on our team, and she knew somebody, her dad, knew a person that worked at the school that Dave lived close at. Anyways, long story short, crazy. Jessica became a coach. I got the job at the school nearby. I was able to move in with Dave. We got married. So, your why is always going to continually be changing, but you always want something that's just going to drive you forward. So, right now where I am, my biggest why is to leave my job, and that will be coming true October, November of this year. And that is absolutely huge to me. I don't think it's really going to hit me that it's actually coming true until I actually am peace out, I'm gone. But it's just so exciting to me that I can actually just have the life that I want, live my day the way I want to, not waking up to an alarm clock or knowing I have to rush and run around to get to school and be home late and cook dinner really quick and barely see Dave and do all of that sort of crazy stuff. So that is my big why right now, is for me to leave my full-time job. And my why for when I leave my full-time job is to get Dave to leave his job too. That way we're both home. When we have kids, we'll both be able to be in their lives. I won't have somebody else raising my kid, or my kid won't, we'll just see their father on the weekend. I want all of us to be a happy family together and be able to just enjoy life as a family without, missing out on birthdays and family parties and, just having that family time that I think so many people are missing now, because, everything's so expensive and people have to work 60 hours a week and 2 jobs. It's just crazy. So that's my ultimate big why, is for me and Dave both to be home with our, family, to just live the life that, we always wanted to. We're going to be moving into our new house, hopefully, in October, November as well. And we've always wanted to move back down to Cape May, and that was a huge goal for us, which is coming true. So, just, you want to be thinking of your why as, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And build it off of that. So that's my why, of that deep why of why I'm a Beachbody coach, more than just helping people and helping you guys, because obviously I love that. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have a passion for it. The second thing we're going to go over is your story. So my story, I'm sure you've all heard mine a million bazillion times, but I tell my story pretty much any single time I meet a new person and they ask about Beachbody. I tell it all the time on the Getting Started Right calls. I tell it on any team calls that I am doing for another team. So it really comes in handy to know your story, have it like coming out of your mouth like pretty quickly, like 2-3 minutes done. So I became a Beachbody coach about 2.5 years ago. My full-time job, I'm an athletic trainer, but even being an athletic trainer, you would think I'm healthy, and I just wasn't. After college, I got my degree, got a career, and then I kind of just let food overcome and take over, and I really didn't care about what I was doing with my body. And it was embarrassing because I'm an athletic trainer, and athletic trainers should be athletic, but I definitely wasn't. So my big aha moment was when I was at a Super Bowl party with friends, and there was a bunch of crap, like chicken wings and brownies and those pretzels that you dip into the cheese and the chocolate, like all that gross stuff, which I had. And I felt awful. I felt sick to my stomach, number one, because of the food. And then number two, I sat down in one of those high bar stool chairs, and I looked down, and I literally had like that muffin top. And I was like, oh crap. I knew I felt like bloated and like, ugh. But now I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Like, I literally just wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. And for me, I knew like, all right, that was a turning point. I knew I had to do something, or else this was going to keep on snowballing and going downhill fast. So I remember my brother telling me about this program called Insanity, and it was a workout on DVD that you do at home. And because I didn't have any other time to do a workout, I was already at school late at night. I was already working Saturdays. I didn't have time to go to a gym. So I decided to actually buy Insanity off of Amazon, which is like a big Beachbody no-no because you don't get a free coach. So I pretty much just did the program. It's a 2-month program all by myself. I didn't do it with a challenge group. I didn't do it with a coach. But I ended up losing 30 pounds. And at the end of it, I was like, can't believe I'm in the best shape of my life, even after playing soccer since I was 5 and going through high school, playing varsity soccer. And now I'm in the best shape of my life after doing a workout DVD in my condo that's 5 by 5. So that was like, wow, this stuff really works. So I finally went on to teambeachbody.com to get my free coach. Every time you do the workout, it tells you go on to teambeachbody.com and get your free coach. So I went on just to see what else I could do because I didn't want to gain another 30 pounds. I was so used to being a yo-yo person, especially in college. It was just like gain 10, lose 5, I didn't want to do that because I know that is completely unhealthy for your body to be going back and forth like that. So I got in contact with my coach. Her name is Lisa. And, she got me on the phone and she congratulated me on my success. And she told me I could do, there's another workout I could do so I can continue on my journey. And, she asked me if I've ever thought about being a coach. And I actually said, yeah, like I looked at it, but it freaked me out because I actually looked at the policy and procedure manual. And I was like, whoa, like, no, that's not for me. But, she told me about her story of how she was a single mom at the age of 40, living back with her parents because she was broke as a joke, and how her friend Bob Lucido, who's actually one of the millionaires in Beachbody right now, he told her about Shakeology because she was pre-diabetic. She had a really bad labor when she had her daughter, and she needed help. So she, after almost like a year of Bob telling her about Shakeology, she finally decided to try it. With Shakeology alone, I believe she lost between 60 and 70 pounds. So, even though she was a complete stranger to me, I just had that gut feeling, this is what I needed to be doing because I cannot see myself working 6 days a week, 50, 60 hours a week, missing out on family occasions, missing out on vacations, missing out on so much of just my life, and just being, run down until I'm the age of 60 and hoping that there's a pension plan waiting for me at the end. So when she told me about coaching, I was like, you know what? Even if I'm a complete failure at this, even if I suck, at least I'm going to get in great shape. At least I'm going to be eating something healthy every day. At least I'm going to be helping myself. So even if I just help one person, then that's a success for me. So that's why, that's kind of how I started Beachbody. And 2.5 years, coming to today, I'm able to leave my full-time job in November, and I'm making more than I am now with my full-time job. So that's my Beachbody story. Danielle, you're up.
Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. My connection keeps saying it's unstable, so hopefully this works. So my why is a really loaded why. I come from a family of addicts. So my stepfather, my father, which has, when growing up, turned me into a really angry and self-doubting person. So when I never finished anything. I didn't finish college. I didn't think that I was smart enough. I didn't think I could do anything. I never gave myself any credit. I am literally my worst critic. And my why at the beginning was for me. Literally, it's my why is for me. It's so that I can finally do something with my life. I can be I can produce financial freedom for my family. My husband works very, very hard, and I'm fortunate enough to stay home with my kids, but I've never contributed, not only to this family, but to the world, and that's how I feel. I've never done anything for me. So my why really started off was just, I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted to finish something. I wanted to prove to myself that I was more than just this angry person that came from nothing and was taught horrible money skills and no business skills. And I wanted to prove that I could be more than what I was brought up in. So that's where my why started. Of course, like Rose says, when you have a family, you want your family to be together. I have 2 kids. I have another one on the way. And my husband works probably harder than anybody that I know. He works 7 days a week, most weeks, 14-hour days. And like I said, I'm fortunate that I get to stay home with my children. I feel like if you have one parent who's away so much, it's important to have another one there that's stable. But it would also really be great to have my husband here with us. My kids miss him a lot, and it would be really wonderful if I could say, you know what, babe, you don't need to do storm duty, or you don't need to do overtime, or you don't have to go away for 2 weeks because I'm making enough money to cover for both of us. Or even if it's just equal amount, I want to contribute in our marriage. So not only are we financially equal, but we're parenting equal as well, because it is hard. And we're just putting more on our plate at this point. Like I said, I have another kid coming, and I really, really want him home with us. I want my family to be together. So right now, that is my absolute why. That is what's pushing me. I know that in the next year, things are going to get really tough at home, and I'm going to push myself beyond my limits in order for me to achieve those financial goals so I can have my husband home with me more. My story is, once again, a loaded story, but I never have been overweight, but I was never healthy. Like I said before, I came from a really bad household, and I experienced things that little girls never should experience, and in turn, it made me make really bad choices in life. I didn't take care of my body whatsoever. So on the outside, although I looked like I was thin. I was putting poison in my body. I was drinking too much. I was smoking. I was doing drugs. Nothing good. So when I met my husband, I had issues with having kids. I had to have some surgeries in order to have children. And I was told that I had to keep my body in the best shape possible because it was really difficult for me to hold a child. And I didn't listen. So although I stopped drinking and doing, I didn't do anything during my pregnancy, I didn't take care of myself. I wasn't eating the right food. I wasn't doing anything healthy for my body. And I had Roger a month early, and he had to be in the NICU unit. And it literally rocked my world. I mean, the guilt that I felt, and no one ever said like, hey, it's your fault, but I felt like it was my fault because I was told I needed to be healthy. I was told I had a condition and I needed to be in the best shape possible, and I didn't listen to anybody. So right then and there, that kind of started my journey. I actually bought P90X from Craigslist, and me and my husband finished it. And then I got Insanity because I wanted to keep going. And that went really well. Then I got pregnant with Samuel, had a great pregnancy, had another C-section. And like, once I left that hospital, I was like, okay, my stomach is never, ever, ever going to be the same. No one ever tells you that you might get back to your pregnancy weight, but things look so, so much different. And I was having such bad body issues. I mean, I never hated myself. I've never, I didn't like the things that I've done, but I always thought well about my body. And then I hated myself. I tried on 17 different outfits every time I left the house. I was just miserable. And the scar that I had, the C-section shelf that I had was just like more than I could handle. And that's when I was actually contacted by Jessica Bryson, who I've known since I was a little girl, and we used to have sleepovers all the time. And she told me about T25, and I was like, oh, well, I used to do Insanity and P90X, so T25 is probably not going to do anything for me. But I listened to her anyway, and I did T25. And lo and behold, things just like went completely a different way. My body transformed. I couldn't believe what was happening. And towards the end, I was watching Jessica's post about being a coach. I didn't even know what a coach was at this point. So here I had done P90X, I had done Insanity, I'm on T25, and I've told tons of my friends about it, and they were on these programs because of me. So essentially, I was already a coach before I even knew what a coach was. I started seeing Jessica's posts about, being a coach, and I was actually like, well, what is she doing that I can't do? And I couldn't figure out why I was so bothered by it. And then, it kind of dawned on me, like, this was my opportunity. This was my chance to do all those things that I wanted to do before. This was my chance to do something for myself. So I messaged Jessica random, and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to be a coach. And from there, I just took off. I mean, I haven't thought twice about this business yet. Of course, we have your ups and downs, but I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the workouts, the support, my challengers, helping other people. And I've been a coach for a little over a year now, and my income has increased. And it's little things like I buy the groceries, or I pay the Comcast bill, or I do the electric bill. But because of those little things, we're moving into our dream house at the end of this year. And we're buying all new furniture. And we're about to buy a new car because I was able to pay those little things so we could save more money. And there's just no stopping me. Of course, my goals are to, like I said, one day where my husband doesn't have to do overtime, or maybe doesn't even have to work. That would be amazing if we can just be home together all the time. Although I think we might drive each other crazy, but it's a really nice thought. And that's basically how I got into this business. And because of my results for T25, I sent out my before and after pictures. I won the Beachbody Challenge. I got to star in, or I shouldn't say star, but be in a commercial for T25 that shot last week. And I just think it's so crazy that just because I saw this girl's post that I used to go to high school with about coaching and thought to myself, I think I can do that. So it's done so much for me over the year. I have not beaten myself up. I actually believe in myself. I'm working on personal development, and it has changed me, mind, body, and soul. And like I said, I'm pregnant with my third child, and I'm about to have the best pregnancy and most healthy pregnancy that I've ever had. And I'm really excited about it. So that is my story.
That was great, Danielle. Thanks. And ladies, like, you can use any of our stories. If you have somebody that's going to like relate to me, or a mom that's going to relate to Danielle, like, this is why we're a team, so we can help each other out. So you can, I use Lisa's story all the time just because she's been doing this longer than me. And obviously she's making a boatload more than me right now. So if you're not at that point yet where you can tell people, I've been really successful, like, you can say, well, my coach Danielle is, or Rose is, or Lisa is. So use these stories to help you when you're talking to people too. So who's going to be the brave soul to step up? Allison, you're on.
Okay. Last time we did this, I wrote everything down, so I was kind of like a deer in headlights talking to everybody, so I'm not going to do that this time. So what do you want me to start with, my why?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, basically, the reason why I'm doing this is because, like, just like what Danielle said too, like her family, like my family, we're on one income now, and it's kind of hard because when we were in Jersey, like, I was working too, so it was a little bit easier. We moved to Maryland, so we're away from everybody. It's just us. When my son was born, he was born with esophageal atresia, so he was in the NICU for about a month. So that was tough. It was tough on us. I mean, we knew he was going to be fine because the surgery went well. He just had to be in there to recover. But it's a little bit tougher now with him because if he eats certain things, it gets stuck in his esophagus and he'll choke. But the last time that happened was in April, and we had to take him back to the hospital to get surgery to push it back down. So that's like adding up like all the hospital bills. Like, we have so many hospital bills. We have so many credit card debts from like being out of work and everything like that. And I went, and like, my husband is gone all the time too. He's working all the time. He works when he's home. He works when we go to my mom's house in Delaware. Like, he's just working all the time to try to pay everything off. So I also want to contribute to our family. I want to make sure that everything gets paid off. We have no more debt. We don't have to worry about anything like that. I want to make sure that we're all okay and we're all together. So that's basically my why, is to just make sure that we are all together and everything's paid off and we don't have to worry and things like that. And I also want more children. So I want to make sure that we're not in debt when we're ready to have more. And is that good for my why?
Yeah, of course, that's great.
Okay. I mean, I want to work on that too, because I'm sure I can, like, more things I can mention to put in there, because a lot has been going on, but that's the basic why. And how I got into this is actually because of Rose. And it was last year, she contacted me to see if I wanted to try the 21-day fix. And that's like right after I had Jeffrey. So I was like, yes, because I was having such a hard time getting the baby weight off. I wasn't doing it. I wasn't eating right. I was going to the gym, but I was kind of like walking around because I really didn't know what to do at the gym. So that was a bust. And I really didn't have time to work out. So the 21-day fix was awesome because it was only 30 minutes, and I got up 30 minutes early for work and did my workout before I even went to work. So that was perfect. But and then for some reason I stopped. I don't know why I did that. But then we moved, and finally, why I started again, we went to my mom's house for her birthday, and they took a picture of me, and I didn't like the way that I looked in the picture. I just didn't like it. And I was bloated all the time, and I just was feeling like really unhealthy. So I started the fix, and then I contacted Rose probably a couple days after, and I was like, I want to coach. I want to coach like for real now. Like I want to do it. So she signed me up, and I got 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I'm on my 5th round, and I'm loving it. I'm loving my body. None of my clothes fit me anymore, so that's kind of tough because now I'm looking like I'm wearing bags around the house. But I mean, I'll take that over tightness, so I'm good with it. So I'm happy with the progress. And honestly, I don't think that I could do it without Shakeology, because I'm always hungry, and I find that I'm not anymore. Like I'm not snacking on everything I see. Like even like my mom or somebody comes to visit, they bring massive amounts of food and donuts, and I don't eat it. So I think that's a life changer, that Shakeology. I love it. So that's it.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing, Allison. Who's up next? Jen.
Okay. So my why. I grew up in a family with my parents were kind of in a very crappy relationship, basically. They were high school sweethearts, and my mom got pregnant with me, and it was just kind of like a rush to grow up, and it was just a rush. So not planned. It was kind of a troubled childhood. Now I have 2 siblings. They are awesome. So my childhood was a little interesting. My parents would argue all the time, and that's pretty much all that I listened to every night. And I always had to make sure my siblings were taken care of and, not paying any attention to what was going on and trying to keep them busy. And so I just kind of had to grow up very fast and make sure that I was taking care of them and make sure that they were okay. So my why is to make sure that when I have kids someday, that they can enjoy being a kid, do the things that I didn't get to do, and go to Disneyland, or just do those simple things that I didn't get to do when I was a kid. So that's pretty much my why. It's a lot. I mean, I know it can be a lot deeper than that, but I don't really know how to do it without going too much into detail. I don't know how much is too much into detail. So yeah, that's basically the gist of my why. So kind of similar to Danielle, just, I want to make something of myself and my family, and make sure that my family is, well off, and we don't have to worry about, oh, well, we actually can't get groceries right now, so let's, I don't know what we're going to do, or just make sure that my family is taken care of is the most important thing. Family has always been very important to me, just because I'm so close to my siblings because of what we went through, and I wouldn't change that for anything. So we have the best relationship, and it's great. So my family, I guess, is my drive to be better and be a positive, role model for them and my family someday. So that's my why. And I got into Beachbody. I started 2 months ago at the end of May. I started the Bikini Body Guide from Kayla. I don't know how to say her last name, but I'm sure you've all heard of her. I started that in February, and Alicia became a coach just shortly after that, and she was like, hey, I think you'd be a really great coach. She saw some of my pictures I posted on Instagram, and I was like, I don't know, I really want to finish something for once. I've tried so many different things, and I just could never finish it. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll wait, or I'll try it afterwards, but I really want to finish this one thing. So I didn't finish. I got to week 8 and just totally was like, oh, I just can't do this anymore. And no one is, there wasn't any motivation there. I didn't have I mean, my husband is wonderful, but that's one person that lived with him, so that's just different. I don't know. So I contacted Alicia, and I was like, okay, what is this Beachbody thing? What workouts can I do? I tried P90X a couple years ago and didn't end up sticking with that either. So yeah, it was just kind of like, I am ready to finish something. I'm ready to just do it all the way. Like, I'm 100%, in, and I'm ready to do it. So I got in a call with Rose and Alicia and listened to Rose's story and her why. And I was pretty much sold after the first 2 minutes. I didn't really need to hear anything other than that. It was just nice to know that there was going to be people to support me while I was doing it. And that's, I wanted to be a coach so that I could be held accountable, but I never really knew how awesome it would feel to be able to help other people. It is the coolest feeling ever. I've had so many people just by the silly things I post on Facebook, like, today I did my workout because you posted, this quote or something like that. And that is just so cool. So that keeps me going every day. And I'm just, super thankful that, other people, are inspired, but I am inspired by them too. So it's just very, it's a good feeling, and it's nice to have a team that motivates me too. And if I ever have questions on anything, or accountability is always there. So that's nice to have. So that's basically why I'm a coach. I think that's it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Jen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see Jessica.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so my why is basically I hate my job. So does everybody, right? But no, I have been working since I also came from I had a pretty rough childhood, and my mom was a single mom. I started working part-time since I was 14 and worked full-time since I was 18, and I've struggled with money. I've struggled with every job I've ever had. I felt like this is it. This is going to be the one. And eventually, over time, every place I've gone, I'm not happy. I don't want to be there, and I absolutely hate working for other people. So I guess it was probably at least 6 months before I talked to Rose about this, and I started with this. I had actually bought a website that I'm still paying for, which eventually will work into this business, because I was determined. I said, that's it. I'm going to find a way to work for myself. I don't want to do this anymore. There's got to be a better way than this. And I was going to try affiliate marketing. So this website is still blank, by the way. So I still have not gotten that off the ground. So when Rose came to me with this, I was like, wow, I think that this is it. I've never found anything that I really enjoyed. I've tried all different industries. I went to school. I went to school for dental assisting. I have an X-ray license that I've paid to renew the last, I don't know how many years now. And nothing seems to fit. So when this happened, it was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, this is what I've been looking for. I'm actually very surprised at myself, because I've never been this driven and this excited about something. So I know that this is the fit for me. But also, I've struggled with my weight my entire life. Since I was a baby, I had 3 rolls in my thighs, and my entire life my weight's been up and down. So I've never stuck with anything. I've belonged to every gym in the state of New Jersey, and I've quit every single one of them. And this is the first time that I am really sticking with something and really giving it my all. And especially now that I'm coaching, I feel like that's the extra push that I need, because I need that extra push. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like mixing both things in here. So, what?
I didn't say anything, sorry.
Oh, okay. My whole my whole journey with weight loss actually started probably a year and a half prior to me actually signing up. And Rose had asked me for about a year and a half or 2 years prior to me signing up. And I really did want to do it, but I didn't have the money. Like I said, I've struggled with money for as long as I can remember. And Rose actually helped me a lot to begin with, which is another reason why when I was ready, I came to Rose, which I think is really important. Because any of those people that you're reaching out to that maybe don't want to sign up now or don't have the money or whatever excuse it is, Rose still talked to me and she still helped me because I reached out to her because I saw what she was doing. I had no idea what she was doing, but I knew that she knew what she was doing when it came to health and fitness. And I asked her for advice because I was done. I was done feeling the way I was feeling about myself and looking the way I was looking. I was about to be the maid of honor at my best friend's wedding. And the day that we went for the dress fitting was my rock bottom. I left there that day and I felt the worst I had ever felt about myself in my entire life. We were, on the other side of the store while the other girls were trying on these dresses and talking, and we were talking about me getting a different dress not because I was the maid of honor, because the other dresses were not fitting me properly. And that was it. So I started on my own, and Rose motivated me and helped me a lot. And when I was finally ready and I had the money, and it just so happened that I had already been thinking about getting into something, another one of those challenge group invites popped up in my notifications, and that was it. Never would have thought ever about coaching. Didn't think that me, out of anyone, would ever be a coach or could coach. And one of my friends who I had talked to, I told her what I was doing. She was like, oh, well, I think I want to get those shakes. You want to, sign me up? So I was like, sure. I knew that I was signed up as a discount coach and I could sign people up and it would help me. But I did not know that I was going to actually do it seriously. So when this happened and I asked Rose how to do it, she told me about it and I was like, wow, I'm sold. I'm going to definitely give this a shot. And this is the best decision I've ever made. I am the happiest I've been in a very, very long time. And I feel my best that I probably have in, I don't know how long. And I'm really excited about this. I think that this is it for me. I think this is what I've been looking for, waiting for, and I am so pumped to see what's coming next.
That was so great. Thanks for sharing, Jess. Who's up next? Olivia, you're up. Sorry, Andrea, you're next. Olivia, you go. And then after Olivia, Andrea.
Okay. Am I unmuted? Okay. It was still showing I was muted. Okay. Hi, guys. So I did make some notes because I'm a talker and I didn't want to get off track and I wanted to have some key points. So hopefully I won't look like a deer since that's what Allison said she looked like. So I don't want to look like that. But anyways, so why Beachbody? So one of the things is the first and foremost is that I want to be healthy and I want to live a happy life. I've struggled with weight pretty much my whole entire life. But I'll get into that in a minute. And then I also want to have financial freedom. I want to be able to stay at home with my kids when I do get married and to spend time with my husband whenever that happens. I want to have the ability to afford the wedding of my dreams and not have to worry about just finances when it comes to that point. And I also want to be able to have the home that I want. And most importantly, I want to make a difference. So my story is, honestly, I've tried everything in the book when it comes to, I guess my story is a little bit like Rose in the fact that I went from fad diet to fad diet, and I would try workout programs and I would stick with them, but nothing ever worked. Like I worked out 5 days a week, but I just never really seen results. So honestly, when it came to Beachbody, I was like, I'll just get a program and it's not going to work. I'll get my refund and I'll go on my happy way. But I was sadly mistaken, because instead I actually had amazing results and I fell in love with the products, and I just look forward to using different programs. So after my first program that I completed, which I didn't even go through a coach, I went and just got it on my own and did the 2-month program, which was PiYo. And like I said, I fell in love with it. And then it wasn't until I lost my job in June was when my heart just really, I just poured like my blood and sweat and just everything I have. And, you know, what I tell people is when they're like, well, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a full-time Beachbody coach, because I've just taken, like, of course my income is not there and I do miss my nursing job, but until God provides me another job, Beachbody is what I'm doing. So, but Beachbody has given me hope for a future. And it also gave me a hope for when I do have a husband, I'll be able to spend time with him and my family. And then right now it's given me the freedom to be able to spend time with my family, because I can work hours while they're at work, and then I can get some stuff done around the house. And so it's really helped with my family's dynamics right now. And then Shakeology, I love it. I've been drinking it since day one of being a coach. And I don't go a day without it. Doesn't matter if I go on vacation or if I'm running errands, like my Shakeology comes with me. My friends think it's kind of funny, but I told them I'm addicted to it, literally, because I wake up every morning and I've got to have Shakeology. And I'm also one of those, I guess if you want to say crazy people, because I don't do anything with my Shakeology other than mix it with a little bit of juice. And now I've got to the point where I mix it with like 2 to 4 ounces of juice and the rest is water. Like, I mean, I know that's hilarious, but it is. And then the other product I've completely fell in love with is E&E. Like, that stuff is, now I'm going to say this to you guys because you're on the team, but I don't say this to other people, but it's like my crack. Like, when I drink that stuff, like, my workouts are phenomenal. But anyways, I can't look at you, Rose, because you're cracking me up. But so anyways, like I told you earlier, like working out has always been easy for me, but I just never had the results. And, you know, with Beachbody, it just keeps me wanting to come back for more and more because the products and what it's done in my life. Like, I have no earthly idea. Like, losing my job was devastating. But at the same time, like, it's given me the ability to really reach out to other people. And I can tell my story when people say, I can't financially afford this. I can be like, well, you know what? And like I told my own personal sponsor and coach, sorry, I got to put my Y behind my board. I stare at it every day. So, you know, when people tell me they can't financially afford it, I tell them, I'm like, I believe in these products so much that I have zero income coming in right now. Like, I'm living off of my savings. And I could have quit Beachbody altogether back in June, but I didn't. I believe in the products and because they work. And so I'm willing to pull out that $116 every month to pay for my Shakeology and to do my programs. Anyways, that's all.
Thanks, Olivia, for sharing. It actually reminds me of Danielle and the Tony story. Right, Danielle?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she was like broke as a joke, and I think she even her balance on her credit card went negative.
Yep.
When she became a coach because she just believed in it that much. And this year she finally walked across the stage at Summit as a millionaire. And that crap gives me goosebumps because that's just mind-blowing. So know that you are in the right place, you're headed in the right direction, and that you can do it.
And that we all feel the same about E&E, and I'm really sad I can't drink it anymore. You're making me jealous.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I can't wait till I'm done being pregnant so I can do D&E. So sad.
Oh, Andrea, you're up.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so my why, like Danielle, when she first started out, my why is I'm just doing this for me. I just wanted to get physically fit, and I wanted to be healthy for when the time comes that my boyfriend does propose and we have a wedding, and just to be healthy for our future children. That's really important to me, and so that's my why for right now. My story, similar to a lot of people's stories we've heard tonight, is that my childhood, my parents were divorced before I was born, and then I was born. So I like to say I'm an oops baby. So I met my dad when I was 10. He came back into my life, and he's been kind of in and out. He lives with us, and then he doesn't, and right now he's been living with us for a while. And then when I was in high school, I really struggled with my weight. That's when I put a decent amount of weight on. And I had an uncle that I was really close with, and he was kind of like a father to me. And he actually ended up killing himself. And after that, I had a really hard time, and I struggled even worse with my weight. I was starting college at that point, and I ate like crap. And looking back now, I look back and I laugh and I think if I had just eaten healthier in college, I might have been in a different place. But Beachbody came into my life when I was a little bit heavier, and it was around Christmas time. And I remember looking back at pictures and thinking to myself, ooh, put on a little bit of weight. And I had done Weight Watchers, I had done kickboxing and all kinds of stuff like everyone else, and put weight back on after Hurricane Sandy and put on a lot more weight. And so now I've been doing Beachbody since January, and I'm down 25 pounds. I started out with the 21-day fix. My boyfriend and I started it together, and I kind of forced him into doing it so that we could get healthy together. And after that, when we finished a couple rounds, 21-day fix extreme came out. So I decided that I was going to bump myself up and move to the next level. So I started Fix Extreme and then moved on to T25. And I just started PiYo. And next week I'm going to be starting the Ultimate Reset, which I'm really excited but really nervous about. So Danielle told me to definitely be in touch with her about that. So that's exciting. But yeah, that's my story, I guess.
Great. Thanks, Andrea. And if you need any help with the reset, let me know. I've done it two times.
That's what I told him. Like, keep in touch with us because you're gonna go through some ups and downs.
Yeah, I'm really nervous about it.
Don't be nervous. It's just it's a lot of prepping and a lot of cooking. You know,
yeah.
So cut your veggies up before, like wash everything, make like double, triple of things. The first time I was like gung-ho and I had to do everything by the book, so I tried every single recipe. Like, you know, in the back of the book you can do like the quick way of doing it. That the second time I did it that way, just because I couldn't make like, what was it? Like 4 meals a day, different meals for like, it was
right.
But honestly, you'll feel absolutely amazing. Totally worth it.
It's
good. Good, I'm excited.
I did it for me and RJ, and I followed it to a T. I didn't even know about the back of the book, so now I feel like an idiot. But if I can make it for 2 people every day, you can do it. Don't worry.
That's true.
And she has kids running around.
Yeah, that's true too.
All right, Kirsten, you're up next, girl.
There. Got me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll make this kind of quick. My why is because of my my family. I have 16-month-old twins at home, and I work part-time right now. I'm an athletic trainer just like Rose. So, I mean, I used to be making a lot of money, but now I work part-time and I probably make a third of what I used to make. And my husband is a nurse. He works 3 days a week, sometimes 4 overtime because we just bought a new house. So to help out a little bit with that would be awesome. And also I have my master's degree, and it turns out those things are expensive. Who knew? Especially when your parents don't pay for you to go to college, they kind of add up after a while. So I'd love to be able to chip away at those because I'm due to pay off those when my kids are 16. They're 16 months. We got a long time for that. So I'd like to be able to help chip away at that would be awesome. And then once they get a little bigger, to be able to go on family vacations and all that fun stuff. So, and also to keep my butt in gear, because with little kids running around, that's how I put on some of this extra weight. I had to go through IVF to have our kids. They couldn't figure out what was the deal with us not being able to. Tried everything, it just wasn't working. So with all the fertility meds and all that stuff, I gained like 20 pounds before my kids even came. Then I had twins, and I think I gained like not so bad, like 30 something pounds, which isn't bad for twins. Lost it all breastfeeding, and I was like, yes, I'm doing awesome. Well, it turns out you go into survival mode after you have twins, which equals me staying up most of the day and being like, just get me whatever to eat. I don't even care. Shove it in my face. And that's going to be it. Well, from all that stuff, I ended up where I am, and I'm a little bit overweight. So this kind of keeps me accountable to not only myself and other people, because you guys help and everybody else helps to keep me going, because I want to be a product of the product, right? So I have to be able to do something. Miss Rose, we went to college together. We went to undergrad together, and she had brought up a couple times in the past year or so, like, hey, why don't you do this? And I'm like, I can't even focus on what I'm supposed to do. I don't even remember my name half the days anymore, but let me put it off for a couple months, get back to me. And she did. She asked me a couple times, and then finally I said, you know what? My babies are sleeping through the night. I have some extra energy to expend on myself, so it's time for me to get back to me. So I bought the Turbo Fire because I really like to kickbox and all that. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to do all this. Well, with 2 little kids, I can't get to the gym, especially with them being so little, and I'm a germaphobe with little kids, and they put everything in their mouth. So I'm like, I don't need to go to the gym and get my kids sick. So what else can I do? So bought the Turbo Fire, and then Rose was like, why don't you start coaching? So I was just like, you know what? Excuse my language, but balls to the wall. Let's do it. And here I am. And I just signed up my first active coach today. She just so happens to be my best friend, but whatever.
Hey, that's awesome. That's great.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
Shannon, you're back and you're up.
Yes, sorry. I had a little one want me to read a book to him, so how do you say no?
No, it's perfect timing.
I know. So I think we're telling our why and our story. So I kind of been getting a kid packed for camp and getting one tucked in, and one's gone with youth, and so it's kind of crazy around the Hutchins house, but that's okay. So my why is I've been on and off with Beachbody products for quite a while. I got to looking in my arsenal, and I actually have the second program that Beachbody ever came out with, and they're on VHS tapes, so that kind of shows my age, but also shows that I kind of always in the back of my mind wanted to get fit. I used to play sports in high school, but that was 20 years ago. So since I've had 3 kids, it's been a struggle to get fit and healthy, and we bought Insanity before my 3rd child. Did that for a while, but didn't stick with it. Didn't have a coach. Had my 3rd child, decided it was time to do something about getting fit and healthy. Went to the doctor, was told that my cholesterol was borderline high. I was overweight. I'd never been told that before in my life. And so that was kind of a wake-up call for me. I was like, I'm 38 years old. It's not going to get any easier, and it's time to think about me so I can be the healthiest that I can be for my family, and to be able to get out and enjoy running and playing with my kids and be able to just have the energy to keep up with them. So I got T25. My husband had actually completed the Insanity 3 times. So he had always been encouraging me to work out, not because he was not happy with the way I looked, but he wanted to encourage me to get healthy. So we saw the T25 infomercial. We decided that was something that we might could do together. We got that, and I actually decided I was going to stick to it this time. So signed up for a free coach, and I got assigned to Courtney. And just kind of, she added me to one of her challenge groups. I didn't really post in that group, but I saw it on my Facebook feed, kind of kept me engaged. Of course, I always see at the end of the workout, sign up for a free Beachbody coach, be a coach, and all those things. And I thought, I want to stay what I'm doing. I have lost 15 pounds in a year of doing T25. I didn't want to go back to, not working out and not being healthy. So decided that it was a way for me to stay accountable. So I called Courtney and I said, hey, I want to sign up as a coach and I want to do another challenge pack. So that's what I did, and jumped in the next week with a challenge group, and people had been seeing what I was doing and how I was losing weight. And I lost 15 pounds in 5 weeks with the 21-day Fix Extreme. And just by word of mouth, people got so excited about it. And at work, it's kind of taken off. And I reached Emerald and got several discount coaches under me. Just signed another coach that's a friend of mine the other day. And she is excited to get started in her business. A girl at work signed as a coach, and she's wanting to get started in the business. And I signed my husband up, and he's reached Emerald. So it's just really taken off a lot faster than I ever dreamed that it would. But my why is really to keep myself accountable, keep myself healthy. And now that I see that there's really potential to make good money, I have 3 boys. One's getting ready to turn 13, so we're going to have college coming up, and cars and insurance and lots of extra expenses that we're not used to now. And so I'm hoping that will really help offset that. I'm a nurse and I work part-time. And so having that extra income will help. And I would love to be able to just stay at home all the time. So we'll see how that goes. That's my ultimate goal. I know it's going to take a while to get there, but that's kind of what I'm working toward. And that's pretty much my why and my story combined. And just to be that role model for my kids, to be that healthy example of working out and staying healthy and eating right. And they see how we're eating, and that would be a lifestyle that they'll be able to continue as they grow older and get out of the house on their own, and not eat all the junk food. And it's easier to stay healthy than to try to get healthy. So that's kind of my story and my why combined.
Thanks, Shannon. That was great. So the reason why also I had you guys share your story is because, when you share something on social media, it's way more effective than you putting up a spammy post of 21-day fix. Nobody likes that. No one can relate to that. So with you sharing your story and just being more personable to people, like you're just opening yourself up to helping that many more people. So for our little homework assignment, it's going to be posted this Sunday night, so you can have some time, to post in the group for us to kind of help you out. You can pick either your why or your story to tell on social media. And of course, the deeper that you can go, the more vulnerable that you can be. I'm sure a lot of you heard a story, one of you guys, and you're like, wow, like I can really relate to Shannon, or I can really relate to Jessica's moment at being at the bridal shop. Like stories like, that where you get really specific, people start thinking about themselves and like, oh, like I can totally, I know what she means. I feel comfortable now, reaching out to her for help. So that's what you guys are going to work on that's going to be your Sunday night post if you don't have anything already. If you do, make it a Monday night post or something like that. But post in the group if you need help with it, or definitely here to help you kind of craft that story or that why. Danielle, do you want to add anything or give them tips on how to?
Yeah, I mean, just don't be afraid to tell your story. I mean, I know like every time I tell my story, I get choked up, and the deeper you go, you get choked up because it's real. But how many of you said that you came from a bad childhood? I mean, I think there is at least like 5 of us. So just think, when you share that, how many people that are on Facebook that are like, oh yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about. I mean, out of 9 of us here, 5 of us had that in common. So don't be afraid to share your story, you know, and to be open. I mean, yes, it's scary to let it all out. And it took me a little while. Like, I think I did a YouTube video on my full-on story. And I thought it was only going to be 5 minutes. It turned out to be 27. I clearly had a lot to say. It took me 4 months to do that, and I was scared out of my mind to do it. But it was the most freeing experience I've ever had. And I also got a message from a girl that night that said that she knew exactly how I was feeling, and she was having thoughts about relapsing, and she's had suicidal thoughts, and my video saved her life. Like, that's crazy. So even if it's just one person, you know, like I said, there's 5 of us had that in common tonight. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because there's no perfect person out there. Somebody has gone through something. Somebody is feeling those things, and they don't want to buy Shakeology. They want to buy you as a coach. You know, they're not going to be like, okay, Shakeology is great. They're going to buy from your story. They want to hear it from you. People are going to flock to you who relate to you. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Just bite your lip and give it hell and say, oh, fuck it. That's what I did.
Danielle. Hey, and if you want to do a video, more power to you. So I really appreciate. What were you gonna say, Danielle?
Yeah, you don't have to do a video. You don't. I mean, like I said, it took me a while to do that. So don't think that you have to do that. That's just one way you can.
I just want to thank everyone for showing up on tonight's call. I know it's a little bit, it was over an hour. So, you guys showing up like this really shows us that you are really committed to, not only your business, but to yourselves too. So really, I appreciate that. And we'll probably stick with the same time next week for the group. I'll, post it again to remind you, but keep up the great work. Y'all are doing amazing. You want to add something, Danielle, before we sign off?
Yeah, because I thought that our team calls were now on Wednesday.
Oh, they are. Yeah. We'll do it on Thursday then. Next Thursday? Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I forgot to look at the calendar on the team page. Oh, and tomorrow night we also have the business webinar that I'm doing at 9 o'clock. So invite as many people as you can. Only people you want to, because you don't want to be bringing people that you don't like into your own business. This is your own business. Work with people that you like. So invite people, send them to my invite, get as many people as you can to watch. All they have to do is listen, and that's about it. And I'll do the talking. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thanks so much.